Okay, I'm going to make a little video on how I cut the spur gear to make it my rotation on my excavators. So that's the spur gear I just picked up right there. It just so happened, maybe I just lucked out. This is 44 mil hole saw right here, and the hole I need needs to be exactly 44 mil. So it's going to be a really tight fit, which is perfect. Pretty much what I'll do is I'm going to do a little center hole in there. I'll line up the pilot bit. It'll go in there. As soon as I can see I got that lined up, I'll just drill that straight down through. And all these machine screws, I'll reuse those. They won't be in the way because everything's on the inside of the cut. And then I kind of lucked out here because this is some thicker material, so I could find. And I got them just on the back. These were 3 by 25 mil long screws. They just fit. So if they didn't, I had to find some thinner piece of wood. But anyway, so that's what I'll do. So there'll be a hole cut through there. I won't film any of that. And then as soon as I got that done, then I'll bring it over to here. And I'll just give it a little test fit on there. I've got a lot of cutting to do. Actually, I'll have to take that off, that little teat there. The gray blade here, I don't really, it might be okay. I don't really like how that got molded. I mean, it's good for the thing, but not so much for me. So I'm hopeful that when I cut that top little piece off, that I'll still be able to keep this on here, because that's going to be probably most likely my mount, I'm thinking, for my actuator for the grade blade. So I'm really hoping I don't have to try and do anything there to put something on, because I'm going to need to have some of that retained, and I don't want the I don't want the spur gear to sit any higher than that. I want it to sit as low as I can, which will be down around there. So then I know it's just sitting flat all the way around. I've found I've had to do a fair bit of sanding and stuff like that around here. Now the other thing I'm not looking forward to at all, I've noticed this, is that this is a lot different style than the chafe. A little unsure yet as to how I'm gonna make this all work. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go and see what happens. Because I think that this has got to sit all the way down in there again. I'm not going to push it in right now. It'll clip in and I'll have to get it all back again. But this protrusion is supposed to sit inside there. So I'm hoping that the thickness of that ring isn't going to interfere with how this sits down there. But it always, everything I've done on my AUSA to my excavators, I always had to do a ton of sanding to get that to sit smoothly without it binding, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. The spur gear that I'm using actually is this one right here. It's a 3166. I don't think it really matters. I wrote down a part number of like 3955 or something on one of them. Whatever, as long as you get the pinion gears that match. So I've got a couple of different teethed ones here, which will fit onto the N20s when I go put them on. So we'll just see. I'll play around with which one I want to be with, and it'll be an easy swap out if I want to speed it up or slow it down, and I'll have the gear ratio on the motor too to make it go fast or slow. So I've never really messed around with that too much. I just kind of put them on and set usually like a 30 or a 60 RPM motor. Usually works. I think I put a 30 RPM in my chafe, and then in my 308, which is over there, I ended up having a bunch of stuff to do with that, and I ended up putting like a bigger motor in, not like a big like 370 style one. It was probably like a .050 motor. I don't know if I just call them N50 for ease, but I had to put a bigger one in there and really mess around with that, because I was having some binding issues at the time, and so I got that sorted out now. But yeah, this one here, similar thing. So hopefully I'll just luck out with it, and then yeah, hopefully this part will go. If this part goes together nicely, then it'll be great, because then I can actually put the thing back together and start to pretty much actually almost have it mostly functioning. I'll still have the articulation and the gray blade to do, but all of a sudden I'll stop and look and say, oh, this is actually coming along pretty good. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to cut that out, fit it on there, see how it goes. And that'll be that.